Hello everyone, this is Cyberman here with part 2 of my high-speed spy battle review. Now I have Deluxe Sideways, who is actually, I guess you'd call him a redeco, because they put in some new colored plastic, but he's different from the original 2 releases. I'm not sure if this paint is more akin to the darker version or the lighter version that was released, because there were 2 variants released in the Deluxe not format, but the Deluxe class size. As you can see, it's a very nice car, which is not an Audi, as everybody else has pointed out at this point. He's mostly silver. He's got some black details there. I really like, even if it's unrealistic, I love these translucent red headlights and the translucent red plastic used to make all the windshields and windows. It just looks really, really cool. This car, it just makes him look all the more evil and angry. There's not much more I can say. You've got taillights back here, but it's mostly just silver. So to start transforming him, this grill piece on the front is a button, which you push in to get his crotch plate, and then his wheels fold up inside. That will free up space to... Again, these look much harder to do on camera than they actually are. You fold up this whole back piece to gain access to his legs, which are panels locked into either sides of these doors. And these pieces will just sort of flop all over the place until you're actually done. You pull out his legs here, fold down these pieces. Now the instructions tell you to do it slightly differently from the way I'm going to transform him, but I saw Vangelis's review of this guy and I really liked the way that he did the leg transformation, so I'm going to copy that. Where you take this piece and you fold it inwards, rotate this whole panel around, and then you keep the wheel on the back of the leg to act as sort of a heel spur, and then you fold this around to the inside and plug it into this hole. So there's a peg on here that will plug into the hole like this, and then you're left with a little bit more of a substantial foot. He will actually stand on these if the ball joints are tight enough, because I've gotten him to stand up on these little feet, but I like the way this looks better than the instructions tell you to do it so that the wheel is off on the inside here, and it just makes it look a little bit more transformed if the wheel is somewhere different from the panel that it was part of in vehicle mode. So the other leg, I'm going to do the same thing. Put this foot around, pop this on the inside, and plug in this peg here. Uh-oh. I didn't break anything, right? Did I break anything? I don't think so. The perils of doing things on camera. You think you break things. And just one note here, there is this joint here in his leg above this orange piece, which you have to have it bent just the right way for this to be able to peg in here properly, and you lose that piece of posability when you have it like this, but just a word of warning. Then once his legs are arranged, you take both of the arm panels and just pull them out on these hinged pieces that their ball joints are attached to. Then you can swivel this whole piece down, and this actually fits in between his front wheels, and then this little tab on here actually will peg into the crotch plate if you position it just the right way. There we go. And it's interesting, he has a waist joint here, but he also has this other swivel on the back here, which I'll flip up his head now. But if you look, this whole piece rotates around, and I don't know why you would ever need that, because he doesn't have any alternate transformations or combinations or anything, but that is there, and I'm guessing it was intentional because it's some kind of joint. So once you have this here, his head flips up. You flip up these little pieces on either side of his head. Then you take this whole assembly back here, bring it up, and then these little notches on here slide into these pegs, these square pegs on the sides here. Just like this on both sides, so that you end up with this piece flat, and then these pieces let me get these out of the way. These pieces hugging the pegs, as you can see here. And you take each of these little like wing fin pieces and just fold them up. They're on a little bit of a springy joint, like the hinges that you can pull out a little bit from their point of rotation, so it's okay if it feels like it's going to come off, because it's not, unless you're trying to make it come off. Then this piece flattens up against his back, a nice bit of sandwiching. Then you fold these out to the sides, you fold his door flaps back, same thing, you just straighten out his arms. And then let me stand him up and adjust the camera. Okay. Hold on. There we go. Like I said, he will actually stand on those feet if you get him stabilized right. Now he's hunching over. Hold on. And then, oh, I forgot a step. You can also take these little headlight pieces and just fold them out to the sides like that. Okay. Now we have to try to stand him up again. Shoot. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. So there he is standing up. And this is sideways in his robot mode. I really, really like the way this looks. And it actually seems to be a massive improvement over the original. I love the way that I'm going to pick it up now that I just stood him up, but the head sculpt here has a lot of detail picked out, which I'm not sure if you can see. You can see it, but it's kind of blurry. But there's a lot of detail picked out on this head sculpt with really nice silver paint. Then on his arms, both this little rotational piece on his elbow that moves with the Mech Alive is silver, as well as the saw. And his fingers are red, or this really pinkish, orangey red. And the same thing on this side, and they remembered to paint in his wheel as well as the saw, which is nice. And this whole piece, I know on the original it was just red down here. So it's nice to see not only the detail on this, which I really like, but also the fact that it's just black, but it fits in better with all the other black plastic. Let's see, what else can I say. On his legs here, he has this random, I'm going to call it battle damage on each of these little leg guards, which I don't know why he has these. They might be reused paint apps from the, I don't know what set, but this mold was sold in one where he had the damage to look like he was cut in half from a side swipe. So maybe those are left over from that, I'm not sure. That's essentially sideways there. I guess there's one more thing I can point out. On the Mech Alive, on one of his arms, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but there's actually a little piece in this hole which rotates just on this arm, as well as the piece on the side when you bend his elbow up. So there's a little bit of extra Mech Alive. Wait. I was wrong. It's really hard to see. It's actually on this arm. And when you bend this, there's a... You're not going to see it because I'm creating a shadow. But there is a piece in here that also moves. I don't know why it doesn't work on this arm, but it works on this arm and it's in that little hole. So overall, I really like this whole set. It's nice to be able to get 3 toys in a 2-pack. And as I said with my skids and mud flap video, anything that looked really finicky on camera is not nearly as finicky in real life. Just trying to do it, you know, reaching around the camera and fiddling with the toy makes it a little more difficult, and I have to try to keep it in the shot, which I didn't exactly succeed at doing 100% of the time. But overall, all 3 of them are really, really nice toys. I would suggest getting this pack if you didn't have any of these molds, which I didn't, so I was picking them all up for the first time. This actually solves a bunch of the, not complaints, but a bunch of the problems I had when looking at pictures of the original Sideways, because he had a lot of unpainted things and undetailed areas, and this seems to fix that, or at least make him look more uniform. So before I run out of time or battery power, this is Sideways. I am Hybelman. Check out my other first part of this video with skids and mud flap, as well as the box detail, exciting. And I am signing off.